Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode. Don't worry, I won't shoot. Another episode on the Game Mode 4 Hermitcraft server. It's exciting to be back here. I am looking forward to doing some work in the base area. It's all about the base, let's say that. I've got some ideas, some inspiration, and I've been doing a little bit of work in this area. So I've just been reading some of your comments on the last video. I want to say thank you for all of those. Some of you suggested calling this place Hoth, which is the name of the planet from the Star Wars movie. As I described, this reminded me of the Empire Strikes Back, having the sort of base built underground in the snow. And that place actually has a name, so we might call this base Hoth. I'm not sure, but it's a cool name. I like it, and we need a name for this place. So that'll probably end up being what it is. And you may notice that things are just a little bit different around here. Well, I've been doing a little bit of work digging out the area, trying to make this cave feel bigger and give us more space to build in. And to be honest, it's been really slow and actually quite difficult. So have a look in these chests. You can see snowballs. We get loads and loads of them, and I end up crafting them into snow, which takes a long time. And I got some comments from you guys. Use Silk Touch. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Do you know what? I'm actually not surprised though, because I've never really been in this environment before where you've had tons and tons of snow to remove all at once, and so I didn't really think of Silk Touch, so we'll definitely give that a try. A Silk Touch shovel shouldn't be too much of a problem, and then we'll be able to do work a little bit quicker in this area. But anyway, let's head down in this direction. You see, I had something planned. Do you remember I said about the quad slime chunks? I used an external program to do that. By the way, the seed for this world, if you're interested in knowing what it is available on the Hermitcraft Reddit, so you can go over there and grab that. And then I put that into a mist, and I found out that there was a quad slime chunk over here. Thing is, I haven't seen a single slime spawn in this area yet. Absolutely nothing. I don't think they like this biome very much, and I've not seen, as I said, a single thing. And I've been back and forth here a few times, and it's kind of disappointing because I'd really like a lot of slime balls. I have an epic project, a thing that I want to build in mind, and I'm going to need a lot of slime balls for it, and unfortunately we have none so far, so I'll keep checking on that. It could be possible that I built it in the wrong place, or for some reason it's not where I think it is, but I don't see why not. There's nothing in the command blocks that should change anything to do with slime spawning, right? And this is just a regular vanilla world at heart, so it should be there that there are some slime chunks. I need to cover that up. But anyway, what I want to do is open up this place quite a lot and get a nice big cavey feel. I think I discussed that last time, so I've been doing that a little bit. Tore away this area over here, opened it up, and tore away some area over here and up there. It sort of goes all over the place, and it hasn't yet really got the feel that I want, and I'm a little bit concerned because these things take time, and if I want to open this area up a large amount, it needs to be kind of efficient. So we're going to try the Silk Touch shovel and see if all of that crafting of snow is slowing me down, because I cannot bear to let any of it despawn. I have to pick it all up and craft it. And yes, you can see I've been busy over at the Wither Skeleton Farm. But what we want in this chest is some TNT. I was just thinking, hey, it might actually be a cool idea to try that out. Do I not have a single shovel? Oh yes, and one of the things you guys pointed out, the coal that we get from the farm, we can use this to craft into iron, so we're not going to have to worry about running out of that. And it looks like for now I'm just going to have to craft one quickly with some of the wood that we have lying around. Maybe do an enchantment. There's probably some lapis there, is there not? No, I don't see any. There is. Excellent. Alright, so we'll craft up a quick shovel, and I'll get a Silk Touch one later on, believe me. Be nice to get efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3 on that. And efficiency 1, there we go, so we can do a little bit of quick digging. So, where would I like to expand this area? Right here going upwards I think would be a good place. Let's also grab ourselves some building blocks. We'll just use snow for now, since it's nice and disposable and there's plenty of it. And we'll put a little bit of TNT up the top here and see what blowing it up does. Now we shouldn't risk anything in this area around us that's important. We should be able to just put a few in here. Let's not go any higher than that. Okay, so let's dig away that one. Put one on that side. 1, 2. Can we do it? Yep. One on that side. And we'll just detonate the one. We'll go down. We'll run away. Whole block. Let's see what this is going to do. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I didn't want it to fall down. That kind of makes sense. Maybe I should be using one at a time. And also, it looks like it doesn't break the ice into water. That's interesting. So anyway, I can patch this back up. Let's do that. And then let's throw down some more TNT and see what we can do with it. This is a pretty interesting way to get rid of the snowballs. I did this by accident, and I don't think it's going to be practical in the slightest. I just started holding down right click And whenever there's loads of these on the ground, I guess you could do that as you're moving around and throw a few away. But that's really not going to be enough, is it? Because there's so much of it. Anyway, I'll continue filling this in. We are going to get some destruction going. I am a little worried about our TNT supply, though, because I use that for the wither farm. We've got plenty of those, and I guess we don't have a decent way to renew this at the moment. We can get sand, but the gunpowder, there's no gunpowder farm yet. And what am I trying to do? Wow. As soon as I start talking, I forget what I'm trying to do. That's right, we're trying to fill all of this in. So I managed to get myself a flame bow. Would have been lovely if this thing had infinity, because all I've got is 5 arrows. Do you know what? That's something we need in this game, is some sort of arrow farm. But anyway, let's do this one by one. We've got one up here. Hopefully I put them far enough apart from one another. And that's going to make a nice big explosion. And yes, it didn't harm any of the bookshelves, but then a ton of gravel decided to fall on top of it. Perfect. Do you know what? With it opened up, it does look better, but that looks silly. And all of this is on fire. How did that get on fire? Don't do that. Oh, right. Okay, next one. Over there. Let's see how this one fares. Looks pretty good. I like the way the block kind of... Yeah, did you see that? It creates some light around itself when it's lit on fire. I didn't know that. And that's blown up quite nicely. Now these are going to look a little bit, you know, squarish. You can kind of see where the blast was because you've got almost a flat wall there, and on this side it gets a little flat. Same for the ceiling. But I think we can work with that and make this nice and big, which is what I want. A really big cave with a big roof. And I think one over there, another explosion over there might do. Can we get up there? Can we do a little bit of parkour? We probably can. Just need to find the route. In fact, we'll just hop up like this. So let's do one more over here. Right in that block. I think this is going to look pretty good. Let's hop away. Oh, quick. Block with that sword, just in case. And that's unusual. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it seemed to take twice as long to detonate. And again, opening it up, it looks really square. So we're going to have to do something about that, but I think this is going to help a lot. It does create snowballs, so it's not quite the same as using Silk Touch. But anyway, we've got 2 more here to do. This one up the top. Hopefully that doesn't hurt the portal or any of my chests. It should be far enough away though. There we go. And we've got to watch out for that fire. Interesting. So TNT sort of drops fire. Oh, I know what it is. It's the arrow itself, because we have a mod or a module on the server that means that when you shoot an arrow at something, it actually creates a flame there, so you can set fire to things. If I were to fire my last arrow... Oh, apparently we've still got 5. Am I missing something here? I'm breaking free, flame 1... and we've got 5 arrows left over. We might have found a bug. Let's fire it at that one. And then let's have a look. Now we've got 4. Interesting. I could have swore it was 5 earlier. I'm pretty sure we checked that on camera. So I'm not going mad. And so if you look at this, it's where the arrow is. So if we hit that... Oh, I picked the arrow back up. Oh, it makes so much sense. So when you hit TNT with an arrow, you get the arrow back. I did not know that. That's really cool. Anyway, let's do a little bit of an experiment then. So if we go and grab ourselves some of these, I'll just chuck those on the floor, and then we fire at them, they should catch a light. And we should, or possibly, get our arrow back as well. There you go, it's on fire. Amazing. We have found something over there. Oh my, we are having an adventure today. Let's go pick our arrows back up, and the fire spreads. Watch out for that. I do have one of these things. And is it me, or did I hear a little zombie guy? I probably did. We might want to be careful of things spawning this side of the wall, because that looks like a solid structure wall, doesn't it? Okay, and we've got water flowing over there. This isn't good. Let's just quickly patch it in. Oh my, so working with this terrain is a little bit messy because you get these snowballs everywhere, but it is a lot of fun, and I think that Silk Touch shovel, if we can get one, is going to make a huge difference. So what is this right here then? Oh, maybe this is where the biome ends. Oh, that's, yeah, that's the thing. So this is ice plains. No, it's not where the biome ends. Okay. Interesting. Let's have a little dig around and see if we can find out what this is. Okay, this might actually be a bug. It just kind of hit me a second ago. If I come back here, we're on the edge of a chunk, because this is a straight line. So if we go all the way in one direction, we should come out to the other side. So we're at 4, 5, 6... and 9 and 10 and 11, so anywhere around here we should find we're at the other side. No? Is that... That's gone over by 1. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. There's some water up there though. I guess I'll investigate a little bit more. But that is unusual because the biome hasn't changed. Interesting. And at last the slime spawn, but they're spawning in my base. What's going on? You are not supposed to spawn here. Oh, maybe this is a slime chunk. Well, there we go. We got some slimes. Hopefully we'll get enough over time. And having them spawn in where I want to build may not be the best of ideas, but I'm sure it won't be the biggest of problems. So I've been working on the area, and it may be a little bit difficult to spot just because this terrain isn't very distinct. It's all quite random. But I've been opening out areas all over the place, and what I'm learning is that opening one big area out in the middle is actually quite tricky, and what seems to be happening is lots of little pockets of areas are emerging sort of all around the place, and I quite like that. So what I think we're going to do is work on having a base where we walk through it a lot, rather than one big central area and a big open cave. We'll make this thing bigger as we go along, but we'll have walkways up to different places and pathways, etc. And then all of these little cleared out areas like this can each have their own little purpose, which I think sounds cool. So I want to get to building pretty quickly here, because I've been doing this for a long time. And over here we've got some mine shafts. We're kind of in the middle of a mine shaft area, which is a little bit of a pain, but no spawners have been found yet. That might actually be quite useful, I guess. And I'm just thinking about a couple of things at the moment. What building materials are we going to use, and what are we going to do about lighting? These torches will not work in the long run, and I'm thinking when we get a little bit more established, we can look at using some stained glass. Maybe white stained glass and hiding some sea lanterns, if we can even get hold of those. Got to remember, although this is game mode 4, it's not like on the amplified world where we've got a lot of materials in abundance, so I'm not sure if sea lanterns will work. But anyway, alternative light sources where we don't have to use torches. And as far as building materials go, I'm going to start playing around with that in a moment. But I really like the gravel texture. I think it looks nice, and it actually works quite well as a pathway. I think we could use this as pathways between places, but what I originally pictured in my mind was some sort of platform that actually rested above the snow layer, so I'm not sure how that's going to look. I'm going to play around with a few things, but if you picture it like we're building at this sort of height right here, then we have some pillars that lead up to a platform, and the platforms kind of move through the cave elevated, which I'm not sure will look that great or not, but it'll be interesting to try. So I'm going to grab some building materials and give this a go, and I'll bring you back in when I've got something. So I think I found 3 building materials that are going to go nice together, but this platform and the other variations of it just didn't feel right. It feels like as soon as you create this platform, everything around you needs to be a lot bigger, which is going to be quite tedious, and if you fall down below, it just feels a bit awkward, and I don't really like it. I don't like these platforms. I feel like we need to be a bit more engaged with the terrain, and this is sort of going against the grain. So we're going to rip this down, and we'll try something different. So we're going to go with the gravel in the snow. It looked good around here, and as I've made it into a path, it just kind of feels right. And I think it's important that we don't keep everything too level. Maybe level where the gravel is, occasionally going down and up, but having these dips on the side is really going to help keep the chaotic feel. So around here we have our first room, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right at all, let me say that. And it's pretty obvious what this room is for. Some nice use of blocks on the ground here, just very simple way of building and creating a floor, and I think it's effective, but the shape of the room just does not feel right going into this big square. And then I was thinking about, hey, what if we were to put in some strips of packed ice or some materials in here, maybe use some more of this diorite? I've got a feeling we might use this a fair bit actually, maybe throw in the occasional support looking beam here and there. Doesn't look too great on the entrance, but I've got a feeling this texture is going to be used a fair bit more because it looks nice next to the snow. But yes, adding things into the wall here just doesn't feel like it's going to fix the problem. I think maybe this needs to have more of a cave kind of vibe, and we need to tear it open a little bit. And yeah, I was talking to Sparks about metal a moment ago, and yeah, we are talking about music, so I was listening to a record. I'm going to join those guys in TeamSpeak in a moment, but yes, it's just not feeling right, and I'm going to work on it some more. I'm also thinking that we want these things to be fairly connected to one another, so maybe our next room will be on that side and another one over there, and then we'll have paths that lead around to them. So then if you want to go from storage to enchanting, you know, it's a quick walk rather than having these things separated. Well, it might not be quite what I described. Our storage area is over here, and there's a little bit of a walk to get to the enchanting area, but this just looks so good. And inside here, I tore up the room, and you can see it looks so much better when it's all crazy and chaotic like this, and it just keeps with the cave feel, which I think is important. However, there is a lot of snow, and I'm thinking in one of the next couple of episodes we'll get together some sand, make it into glass, stain the glass, and maybe make some features with blue and light blue glass, and also some ice as well. We could have little like ice spikes and things in the area. But anyway, it looks good. I'm probably going to put something over here in this area, And then if we go back round to this side, you can see I've been extending the paths. So it goes up here. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Maybe some slabs in between would have been good, so you don't have to jump. But this is now where our portal is going to be. So you have this nice view as you come into the base. And then going down to the right, I've built this storage area. And I've really enjoyed putting this together. It's nice to work with these textures. And it looks really cool as well. So what I started off with was just this square shape. And I had this idea that I wanted it to sort of be down in the ground. So I dug down as far as I could go. Below this there's bedrock and stuff, but if we have a look, you can see that we've got these little staircases, and that's because I realized that I wanted to put things over in those areas and that you'd need, you know, alternative ways in and out. So now we've got like a path through into this area. So it's kind of like a drop-in storage area. I really like how it looks. So I've organized the chests a little bit. So over here we've got our armor, we've got valuables, we've got some other valuable items, building blocks, farming stuff. Over here we have our wood, bone meal, coal, snow on this side, ice on this side. It's all really organised, and it feels like it's just about the right size. Maybe later on we'll need to add some more chests in, but we can obviously find some space around here to put it in. And I just love the way you can sort of pop up and go through into the next area. Now what I've done is I've been building the snow up around it a little bit, like this area over here. And around the back here it's a lot lower as well, so I've sort of built it up, and I feel like what we need to do is perhaps make use of snow layers. And do you know what, my inventory is really cluttered. This chest right here is for redstone-y stuff, so we'll put those in for now, and we'll use the crafting bench to get ourselves some snow layers. There we go, that's plenty of snow layers, so much so I've kind of filled up my inventory again. And I was thinking we probably need to use these a fair amount more around the place, and I've just realised they're going to melt. These things melt next to torches, I'm pretty sure. That's actually going to make things tricky because lighting is going to be a problem in here. Well, my plan was to come along and just put a few snow layers down like this and help this area just look a little more smoothed out. And I think it would work really well, there's no doubt about that. But now it's probably going to melt and lighting is going to be an issue. So we'll see what we can do with it. We'll throw it down in places. I need to know what light level they melt at though, because we can work with that. It might be that they melt at the level that mobs can spawn, so they're no good at all. But yeah, that makes a difference. I like that. That's going to help out for sure. So we'll use that in places, and we could go crazy and use it all over the cave. But again, issues with the the light levels. Anyway, so far we've done tons of work on the base, and I did want to do some more stuff with the whole Game Mode 4 modules, you know, not the scenic environment style stuff, some of the technical stuff. So we're going to build a couple more rooms here, and they're going to be for things like the equivalent exchange and also the furnace. We need to set up one of those, can't remember the name of it, but you know what I'm on about, the one that doubles your ores. So the blast furnace is its name, and setting this up should be relatively simple. I've already prepared all of the things that we need. And you may have seen some of the other guys do this, but I wanted to walk through our first time setting these things up. So down here, we've got a custom crafter. We've seen how to do that before. What you're supposed to do is put a furnace in front of it, and then put a recipe inside this thing. We need 2 iron bars, an iron block at the top, then a piston, and I believe below that it's a redstone torch, and then 2 comparators. And actually that works straight away. That's interesting, because I don't know if this is going to work until the multi-block structure is in place. And we could do a little bit of a test. I hope I don't break anything here, because we could end up doing just that. Let's grab some ore, let's grab some fuel. We've got tons of this stuff, by the way. There we go, that'll do. And yeah, let's dump this in here and see what actually happens. Okay, so that's going, that's good to see. But is it going to double the ore and put some in the back there? Because there's no multi-block structure around this thing, which is what it needs. So we get our first piece, and we don't get a second piece. So let's build this right now. What we need is iron blocks. Oh, going all the way around the outside like so, and then on the next level, and then a piece of glass at the front, and then that is your multi-block structure. And then it appears. Awesome. So I guess as soon as we break this, that's probably going to break as well, isn't it? But there we go. We're doubling our ores. They're going into the hopper. And what I'd like to do is put 2 hoppers below this and have a chest at the front here. And then that's going to be the entrance to this little area, which we probably won't be decorating this episode. I think I'm going to wait for some feedback before we do too much more here. But there are a few more little Game Mode 4 modules that I want to set up. So let's do those. Alright, so next up I wanted to add a custom crafter and also the master crafting table, which is like an upgrade to that. And I was looking around, I didn't really want to create another room for them because already was sort of walking back and forth a fair bit to use the different things. So since they're just a single block, I thought, hey, let's throw them down on either side here. But this one we're going to change to the other type. If I could right click on it, I think the arm stand there creating the little crafting bench can get in the way a little bit, so you have to right click on the edge. But to do this, if I remember correctly, it is cobblestone in the top corners and then comparators like that. Oh, and we did it! We upgraded it! Look, we've got a little piston on top of it. It looks a little bit off because, you know, it's not the same on either side, but don't worry about that. I think it looks really cool. And now we have the Master Craftsman's bench, which is cool. Now, what we're going to make next, I'm not sure if you specifically... Actually, no, you don't need it for this, but there is something that you do. So let me show you what you can use this for. There's 4 different recipes so far. There's some other good ones that we'll make use of, but this one right here I really like. Put the netherrack... Oh, and it made a sound as well. Yeah, put the netherrack around the bucket, and then... Cool. I like that, and you can use that to make lava. So this next one, I don't think you actually need this thing for, so let's try it on the other one. But we're going to create the Philosopher's Stone crafting. And to do this, we want to place a diamond in the middle, put redstone around the outside. Oh, and it creates this shiny, shiny stuff called... Is that minimum dust? Or minimum? No, it's just minimum. Yeah, so you need 2 lots of that. And they stack together, and then you have to create something else by putting a diamond in the middle and then stone around it and then gold around that. There we go, and that creates the inner stone, which goes in the center of our recipe. We then put the minimum dust around it and we get the Philosopher's Stone, used to transmune things. So if you put this in the top corner, actually what I need now is some coal. You might have seen DMAC doing this. He's been transmuning a lot of stuff because now you can convert your coal into diamonds, as I showed you. That's going to make some iron. Or possibly not. Maybe I've done something wrong. Maybe it's actually supposed to be on this side that you do it. Let's try. Master Craftsman's bench. No, I must be doing something wrong here, and I'm not sure what it is. So I totally managed to miss this, but you actually have to grade this into another type of bench. So I'm not sure what this one is going to look like. We have to put a crafting table in the middle, then put some more minimum dust around it. I had no idea it was going to do that. That was a little bit crazy. There we go. We've got like a Philosopher's Stone on the bench. So I guess what we'll do is we'll make another one of those, or the normal crafting one in the corner down there perhaps, and then we've got a regular crafting bench on the other side. Anyway, now we'll be able to do what I talked about, and I'm not sure if this has been added into the game yet, but we might be able to do this with blocks. So you saw there that got turned into iron. And one of the things you have to do is you have to take this outside of that when you're done using it, because if you leave it in here, one of the clocks in the game is going to be looking at this all the time. But DMAC has suggested that we do this with blocks of coal, so you don't have to do it 9 times over, and it looks like that hasn't been added yet, but that's going to come to the game soon. So you can turn your coal into iron, but it's quite slow because you have to do it one at a time like this. So if you do it with blocks, then it's 9 times as fast after you've crafted them, which is pretty cool. So there we go, we've got some basics in. I've got to put our other crafting bench over in the corner there, but then we've added almost all of the things that I wanted to. There's just one more thing to do. Okay, my inventory is a little cluttered. I had to go all the way back to base to pick up a few items. Nope, that's not how you do it. This might be a little bit tricky. Okay, no it's not. There we go, we've got a custom crafter. What we need to do is put a book here and an Eye of Ender on top of it, and then that makes our bank book. Ah, an XP storage system, hey? This is going to be cool. So we have 642 XP orbs stored in the cloud. That's interesting, so I haven't done anything here yet, unless by accident. And that's over 20 levels. Wow, look at this. We can store up to 40 levels by the looks of it. That's cool. I'm going to read through all of that later on, but I get the gist of how this works. So this isn't going to be very glamorous, and I think later on when we've got some slime blocks available, we can build a little piston contraption. Maybe we can make something really cool where you sort of either stand underneath this thing, and I've done this wrong, or you can go above it. Okay, so if we stand above it, we deposit XP in. There go our levels. I wonder if this book gets updated live. 642. Okay, it hasn't updated. That's slightly worrying. If we go down below, then the XP comes back out to us. So we can store XP in our ender chest, which is pretty incredible. And like I said, this is a little bit simple at the moment. It'll be really awesome when we have like slime blocks and create a little contraption to use it a little better and make it look nicer. For now, it's just sitting there in the snow. But anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. If you have enjoyed it, as always, please do leave a like and be sure to leave a comment and let me know how you think this is going. Hoth is the name of this place, I think. We're going to name it after the Star Wars place, and it looks ever so cool, doesn't it? I love it. Going to have so much fun in this area. Really enjoying Game Mode 4. Hope you are as well. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.